let's explore Washington State and delve into the reasons cited by locals discouraging potential movers. Situated in the Pacific Northwest alongside Oregon and Idaho, Washington might surprise some with the latter's inclusion in the region. Many surveys consistently rate Washington State as one of the best places to live in the United States, often securing the top spot. However, this video aims not to dissuade anyone from considering the Evergreen State, but rather to shed light on certain challenges that might not appeal to everyone. Like any place, Washington has its pros and cons, and while some aspects may be enticing, others might be less favorable. The intention is not to discourage relocation, but to provide a balanced perspective for those contemplating a move, ensuring they are well informed about potential drawbacks before delving into the housing market and engaging with real estate professionals. 10. High cost of living. The high cost of living is a notable aspect of residing in Washington State, surpassing the national average in 2022. The cost of living index for Washington was 123.1, indicating that, compared to the average state represented by Minnesota in that year, a purchase of, let's say, Pop Rocks and soda for $100 would amount to $123.10 in Washington. This higher cost of living is not limited to specific items. Rather, it permeates various aspects of daily expenses. While Washington is not the most expensive state in the Union, it is positioned among the higher-cost states, making it a factor for consideration when contemplating a move to the area. 9. Terrible traffic. The issue of traffic congestion, particularly in the Seattle area where the majority of the population resides, is a significant concern. Whether traveling from Olympia to Tacoma, Seattle, or Everett, encountering traffic is almost inevitable in this region. While venturing into the Washington outback towards the east offers relief from congested roads, the metropolitan area of Seattle poses a considerable challenge. Interestingly, the traffic situation is somewhat less severe during the winter months compared to the summer months. This paradox is attributed to the roadwork undertaken in favorable weather conditions, contributing to increased traffic congestion. Despite this challenge in the Seattle area, the rest of the state offers a picturesque landscape, making it an ideal destination for a road trip. However, the commute in the Seattle metro area stands out as notably burdensome, with an average commute time of 26.4 minutes, exceeding the national average of 17.2 minutes. 8. Weather and climate. The weather and climate, a common complaint among residents in the Seattle metropolitan area. While long and dark winters with short days are characteristics long-time residents have grown accustomed to, newcomers, having lived there for only a few years, often find it challenging. The prevalent cold and dreary weather, coupled with limited sunlight, particularly troubles those new to Seattle. Research on the sunlight issue reveals that despite the cloud cover, the sun is still present. However, the perception of insufficient daylight persists. Additionally, Seattle experiences a significant amount of rainfall, especially in the western part of the state, with an average annual rainfall exceeding 39 inches. Although snowfall varies across the state, Seattle, where the majority of people reside, typically receives less than 10 inches per year, though there have been occasional years with significantly higher snowfall levels. 7. High crime rates. The issue of high crime rates in Washington State, surpassing those of many other states in 2020. The violent crime rate in the state stood at 3.6 per 1,000 residents, exceeding the national average of 3.1 during the same period. While this figure is relatively lower compared to high-crime cities like Detroit, 10.2 per 1,000 residents, and Memphis, around 12.8, it still prompts concerns among residents. The prevalence of crime is not confined to the Seattle area. Even on the eastern side of the state, cities like Spokane grapple with significant crime problems. The higher population density in urban areas contributes to elevated crime rates, a common trend observed across the state. 6. Lack of diversity. An issue often raised is the lack of diversity in Washington. While acknowledging that diversity is not without its challenges, it is generally considered a positive aspect that enriches and enhances the world. Nevertheless, Washington State is criticized for its limited diversity, with approximately 70% of the population being white, 13.7% Hispanic, around 11% Asian, 5.3% African American, 3.2% Native American, and 1.4% Pacific Islander. This demographic composition has sparked concerns among some residents who feel that the state lacks the cultural richness and variety that comes with a more diverse population. 5. natural disasters. When it comes to natural disasters, Washington State has some unique aspects to consider. Although the feared disasters like earthquakes, volcanoes, and floods don't occur frequently, they are inherent risks. Floods are a regular occurrence every winter, while earthquakes happen sporadically. The last significant volcanic eruption was in 1980 when Mount St. Helens erupted, causing considerable devastation to the surrounding area. Despite the impact of that event, worrying about it today may be unnecessary as it took place over 4 decades ago. Those concerned about volcanic activity might opt not to reside at the summit of a smoking mountain, ensuring a more secure living situation. 4. Scarcity of job opportunities. The issue is the scarcity of job opportunities in Washington State. While the state does offer numerous job prospects, particularly in high-paying sectors like technology and aerospace, the challenge lies in the intense competition for these positions. The tech industry, in particular, attracts a substantial number of qualified candidates, leading to a situation where demand for these lucrative jobs outstrips the supply. This has prompted some individuals who were previously employed in standard tech roles to redirect their focus towards healthcare technology, as it appears to offer a more favorable job market. The prevalence of competition for well-paying jobs is a significant concern, especially in the Seattle area, making it difficult for many to secure desirable employment. 3. Unfriendliness of residents. The perceived unfriendliness of residents, a sentiment that is particularly noticeable when considering Seattle. The phenomenon known as the Seattle Freeze describes the difficulty newcomers face in forming friendships in the area. Cities in general exhibit a lack of a welcoming atmosphere, making it a prolonged process for individuals who relocate to feel a sense of belonging. This characteristic is especially noteworthy in Washington, particularly in the Seattle area, which is also reputed as one of the least favorable places for singles navigating the dating scene. 2. Homelessness. Addressing the issue of homelessness, a prevalent concern, particularly in Seattle, is inevitable. Homelessness is a significant problem on the West Coast, notably in cities like Seattle, Portland, and Los Angeles. While acknowledging the challenging circumstances faced by homeless individuals and expressing no ill will towards them, it is a recognized fact that homelessness places a strain on community resources. Communities must allocate funds for addiction services, housing services, and mental health services, which affects the overall well-being of the community. The issue is not a critique of the individuals facing homelessness, but rather a recognition of the systemic challenges and the need for comprehensive support services. 1. Insane real estate market. The real estate market in Washington is described as insane, capturing the intensity of the challenges it presents, especially in urban areas such as Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia, and Vancouver. Even rural communities, while relatively expensive compared to other states, encounter notable difficulties. The median home price in Washington stands at a staggering $668,000. The exorbitant prices are particularly pronounced in the Seattle metro area. As someone recently exploring homes in the southern section near Ridgefield and Vancouver, the desire to take advantage of the absence of state income tax is tempered by the significant hurdle of high real estate prices. Affordable housing is a pressing issue, with elevated rents and a scarcity of budget-friendly homes, making it challenging for many residents. Living in the Seattle metro area often requires a substantial income or the option of having multiple roommates to share the financial burden. That's a wrap for the reasons why is nobody moving to Washington in 2024. If you learned something, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the following video.